Well, good evening to our second annual Darlington County School District Hall of Fame celebration. It is so wonderful to see everybody here, for us to recognize some incredible individuals and educators that have impacted our school district for so many years. Darlington County is so unique, and I say that from my perspective because I've been many places around the state of South Carolina, and I have yet to be anywhere other than Darlington where there are so many long-standing, serving educators and people that have impacted the school district for so many years. So it is unique, and it is something we should be celebrating. And I'm so glad that we've been able to put these together over the past 2 years, and we will continue on celebrating our Hall of Fame inductees. I would like to recognize some of our inductees that are here from last year. Our first Hall of Fame celebration, we have Dr. Rainey Knight with us. Yes. We have Dr. Alan McCutcheon and his wife with us. And we have Ms. Lena Pearson with us as well. Thank you for being here to share another celebration with us tonight. Tonight, our new inductees, Dr. Charlie Burry, Dr. Thelma Dawson, and Dr. Willie Bill Boyd, Sr. We are celebrating all their incredible accomplishments over the years, but also celebrating with their family to let them know how much we appreciated them sharing with us all these years and all the work that they did. So sit back, enjoy. We're going to have a wonderful dinner. Bizzles, thank you for being here with us tonight. We're looking forward to the meal. And we're also going to have a special treat tonight, a special musical treat tonight. We have with us the advanced chorus from Hartsville High School. Carrie Oxendine is the director, and we can't wait to hear the performance. So I will turn it over to our Hartsville High School group.
The advanced chorus now is going to be O Magnum by Emily Ramos. It is in Latin, so that's the first piece that we'll be hearing. Okay. gonna let nobody. We have a bunch of soloists tonight, so I'm just gonna go through right quick. As I say your name, if you could just like wait real quick. Shakia, Jewel, Monte, Latrice, Philip, Melina, Naya, Hazel, and last but not least, Alfonso. Yep, that's the soloist tonight. And here are your starting pictures.
Ain't gonna let nobody
turn me round, turn me round, turn me round.
let nobody
Turn me round, keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
Ain't gonna let segregation
Turn me round,
turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let segregation
turn me round.
I'm gonna keep on marching up to freedom land.
let no challenge
Turn me round, turn me round, turn me round.
gonna let no challenge
Turn me round, keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
Ain't gonna let racism
Turn me
turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let racism
turn me round,
I'm gonna,
keep on walking,
yeah.
keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
let division
Turn me round, turn me round, turn me round.
let division
Turn me round, keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
ain't gonna let no hatred
Turn me round, turn me round, turn me round.
ain't gonna let no hatred
Turn me round, keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Turn me round, keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
Ain't gonna let nobody
Turn me
turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody, oh, I'm gonna, yeah.
marching up to freedom land.
It's an honor tonight to be here with you all and to just showcase the talent that is at Hartsville High School. Thank you all so much for letting us perform for you. Thank you.
It is always so wonderful to see our students and see and hear the talents that they have. Can't have a function for the Darlington County School District and not have kids be a part of it. So that's why we're all here tonight. We're celebrating a lot of great accomplishments, but it's always because of the kids. That's why we're all here, and that's why the folks that are being honored tonight have dedicated themselves to children, and that's why everybody in this room continues to do the same thing as well. I also want to acknowledge some other folks that we have in the room with us. We have several of our board members with us. We have Ms. Vicki Carriere with us. We have Mr. Charles Govan with us. Mr. Govan's also the president of the South Carolina School Boards Association for the year. We also have Mr. Warren Jeffords with us. We have Ms. Amanda Thompson with us. And we also have Mrs. Audrey Gore with us. And at this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Audrey Gore to come up to the podium and return thanks for the food before we start the meal. And then at some point in time, probably close to dessert time, we'll start into the program and everything. So we want you to be able to enjoy your time.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so honored at this time on such an occasion to do the blessing of the food. So may we all bow our heads. Thank you, Lord, for the food that we're about to receive. Lord, we thank you, God, for those who have prepared this food for us on tonight. And may this food be a nourishment for our bodies, Lord, and also, God, as a service to you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Mrs. Gore. And finally, I want to make sure to acknowledge all of the administrators for the Darlington County School District that are in the room with us tonight. We have members of our senior leadership team, but also many of our school principals that are here with us, and building administrators with us. We're glad to have them. All the folks that helped put this on from the district office, Tina Moore from my office, and of course Brittany Kay, that have done so much to make tonight a wonderful night for all of us. So again, enjoy the meal, and I'll see you in a few minutes. All right. Well, I hope everybody has been enjoying this wonderful meal. And as you are enjoying dessert, please continue. We're going to get started with the program, but certainly want you to enjoy those last bites of some ice cream and that chocolate something, whatever it is, but it's really good. So tonight, as we honor our inductees, there will be information that I will be talking about, but on the screens, we have videos that will be playing that will have lots of memories for our folks that they'll be able to see. So, with that, we will start with our first honoree, Dr. Charlie Burry. Dr. Charlie Burry's journey with the Darlington County School District began as a student at Carolina Elementary. Is your principal in the room? I was just checking. Okay. I thought maybe Dr. McCutcheon, there was a connection there. So, and later, Dr. Burry was at Hartsville High School, where he graduated in 1969. He went on to earn a history degree from Furman University, a master's in education from Francis Marion College, and a doctorate in curriculum and instruction from the University of South Carolina. After starting his teaching career at the South Carolina School for Boys and later at Gilbert High School, he returned to Hartsville High in 1978 as a teacher and coach, marking the beginning of a distinguished 40-year tenure. As a coach, Dr. Burry led Hartsville's boys varsity basketball team to its first region championship and contributed to 3 state championship football teams, along with 3 lower state titles. His 2002 tennis team competed for the lower state championship. He also served on the executive committee of the South Carolina High School League from 2014 to 2018 and was named the 2018 4A Principal of the Year by the South Carolina Athletic Administrators Association. In 2004, Dr. Burry transitioned from coaching to leadership, becoming principal of Hartsville High School. Over 14 years, he spearheaded major facility improvements, including renovations to the administration building, athletic facilities, and Kellytown Stadium, as well as construction of the Hartsville High School arena. His tenure also saw transformative academic advancements, improved school report card ratings, a rising graduation rate, and multiple Palmetto Gold and Silver recognitions. He expanded the curriculum by introducing a 9th grade academy, orchestra classes, and Mandarin Chinese courses. In 2008, Hartsville High School attained certification as an International Baccalaureate World School, enabling students of the Darlington County School District to participate in world-class academic opportunities. Dr. Burry was named the 2014-2015 Darlington County School District Principals Association Distinguished Principal, and as of today, he continues to mentor first-year principals, and we greatly appreciate that. Though he retired in 2018, Dr. Burry remains deeply engaged in the community. He has authored and self-published 3 books, with proceeds funding the Life Lessons Scholarship Program at Hartsville High School. He recently completed his term as president of the Board of Directors for the Trent Hill Center for Children and Families and is active in the First Presbyterian Church in Hartsville. Dr. Burry and his wife, Debbie, have been married for over 50 years. 50 years. Dr. Charlie Burry's legacy is one of dedication, leadership, and unwavering commitment to education and community. From the classroom to the tennis court, from the principal's office to the broader Hartsville community, Dr. Burry's influence remains deeply woven into the fabric of the school and community he has served for a lifetime. On a personal note, I can say Dr. Burry was finishing up as I was coming into the district, but I knew the wealth of wisdom that you possessed and the way that every administrator in this district looked up to you was key for me getting a good start. And I greatly appreciate the conversations that we had as you helped to mentor me a little bit as well. And I think that's what you've done your whole career, is coach and mentor folks through the process. We're grateful for your service. Please join me in recognizing our first 2025 Darlington County School District Hall of Fame recipient, Dr. Charlie Burry.
Before I get started, I just want to say that the best thing about tonight has been seeing a lot of old friends and colleagues. That has really been a neat experience, and that's the highlight of the night for me. But I do have a few things I'd like to say. Dr. Newman has commented on my career, so I'd like to speak about something that is more important, and that's the people who loved me and worked with me and supported me through all those years, the people who are the reason that I'm here tonight. Relationships, I believe, are the most important things in life. It's what we built our school culture on at Hartsville High School, and the people, the students, colleagues, and friends are what I've missed most in my retirement. I need to begin with my parents, who taught me right from wrong and gave me the freedom to pursue education as a career. One of my regrets is that my dad didn't live long enough to see me become principal of Hartsville High School, but my mom did, and she was proud of that. My brother Brent, my sister Emily are big parts of a healthy, stable, and loving family environment that helped me grow up appreciating those relationships. The most important person here tonight, as far as I'm concerned, is my wife Debbie, the lady in red. It's not easy being the spouse of a coach or a principal, but she's supported me and walked the journey of life with me for more than 50 years. She kept loving me when I wasn't a real easy guy to love or even be around. Thank you for your love and your patience. Our daughters, Beth and Kay, are the two joys of my life, and there hasn't been a moment with either one of them when I wasn't intensely proud of who they are and what they've accomplished in their lives. When I was a student at Hartsville High School, Tim Watson and Ray Petty made me want to be like them and help other young people the way they helped me. Duke Hucks made 3 pivotal decisions in my career at Hartsville High School, and Kay McElveen counseled me through one of the toughest times of my life and then was my principal for 7 years. Johnny Roscoe and Louis Lineberger, 2 Hall of Fame coaches, hired me to coach football with them. Rainy Knight took a chance and hired me, a guy with 0 formal administrative experience, to run the largest school in Darlington County, at the time 1,300 students and 150 employees, and then she consistently supported me as my superintendent for 11 years. Bill Boyd, who I am deeply honored to stand here with tonight, also supported and encouraged me when I needed to hear his words of wisdom. Our first administrative team, Bob Abbott, Reggie Alford, Candy Holcomb, and William McCall were loyal to me when I moved past them from the counseling department into the principal's office. James Ford, Vaughn Cranford, Corey Lewis, and William Leonard became outstanding members of our administrative team over the years and kept us moving forward every day. These 8 people who I've just mentioned are the ones who ran the school. The buck stopped on my desk for sure, but our assistant principals knew what I needed to know, what I didn't need to know, and maybe most important to my sanity, what I didn't want to know. I can never, ever thank them enough for what they did for our students, our school, and for me during those 14 years. Probably the 3 best decisions I made during the entire time I was principal were when Phyllis Griggs became our athletic director, Jeff Calabrese became our head football coach, and Johnny Andrews became our IB coordinator. Paula Terry, colleague in the counseling department for 17 years, our first 9th grade academy administrator, graduation coordinator, and my partner in crime for many more years, shares a personal and professional relationship that is very special. I've no doubt left out some important people. That's the danger when you start naming names, but I need to get on with an important point about this Hall of Fame thing. There's a life lesson worth telling in my story, I think, because it's a story of faith, persistence, and redemption. You see, I'm probably going to be the only person in the Darlington County School District Hall of Fame who's ever been fired by the school district. That happened 40 years ago this spring. A lot of you don't know this part of my life story, but I came back to Hartsville High School in 1978 as the head boys varsity basketball coach. I was 26 years old and I thought I'd landed my dream job, coaching at my alma mater and in my hometown. 7 years later, when I hadn't won enough ball games, I was fired. I was totally lost and didn't know who I was personally or what I was professionally. And it's hard to get over something like that, especially when it happens in your hometown. Looking back on it now, though, I don't blame Dr. Hucks, because if I'd been principal then, I'd have fired me too. I just didn't win enough, and that, even in high school athletics, is the bottom line. I tried to leave Darlington County then, and the only reason I didn't was because I couldn't get a basketball job anywhere else. So I swallowed my pride, stayed at Hartsville High School as a social studies teacher and junior high football coach, and Kay McElveen encouraged me to get certified in guidance. 2 years later, Dr. Hucks saved my career in education when he hired me as a counselor. At almost the same time, Louis Lineberger resurrected my coaching career when he hired me as a varsity assistant football coach. I did those 2 jobs for 17 years in what was the happiest time of my career. Then, in 2004, 19 years after being fired as the basketball coach, things came full circle when I became principal of the school. To make a long story a little shorter, what I thought in 1985 was the end of my world turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me. God had a plan for me that I just couldn't see at the time. And now, after all those years, here I stand being inducted into the Hall of Fame and finally unburdened and redeemed. No one here tonight can imagine or understand how humbled I am, how much I appreciate this honor, and what it means to me. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Dr. Burry. And redemption is sweet, isn't it? Our next honoree is Dr. Thelma Dawson. Dr. Thelma Dawson dedicated her life to improving the lives of the children of Darlington County. For over 34 years, she served on the Board of Education, becoming a driving force behind some of the most transformative advancements in our school district's history. Dr. Dawson believed every child deserves access to a high-quality education with diverse and enriching academic pathways. Under her leadership, the district introduced magnet programs, including Montessori, International Baccalaureate, and the Early College Honors Program. She was instrumental in passing 2 major bond referendums, leading to the construction of 3 new middle schools, a career and technology education center, and 3 new elementary schools. She worked to establish Mayo High School for Math, Science, and Technology, the Darlington County Institute of Technology, and the Darlington County Intervention School. Dr. Dawson was an early advocate for our district's digital transformation initiative, providing all students with their own digital learning device. And when the COVID-19 pandemic forced schools to rethink education, she supported the launch of the Darlington County Virtual Academy, ensuring that students could continue learning no matter the circumstances. Perhaps one of her most enduring legacies is her advocacy for the people who make our schools thrive, our teachers, staff, and administrators. She fought for increased pay for all employees and pushed for greater investment in professional development. She also knew that students can't learn if they aren't healthy, which is why she championed school-based telehealth programs, ensuring children had access to health care while at school. Dr. Dawson's contributions didn't stop at education. A trailblazer in her own right, she was the first African-American female dentist in Florence and Darlington counties. Dedicated to serving her community, she provided free dental care to children in need and co-founded the PD Medical Professionals Association, fostering collaboration among healthcare professionals and providing scholarships for aspiring medical students. Her impact reached beyond Darlington County, as she was called upon to serve on transition leadership teams for 2 South Carolina state superintendents, shaping education policy at the highest level. Her lifelong dedication to service earned her numerous accolades, including the South Carolina School Boards Association's 30 Years of Service Award and the Greater Darlington Chamber of Commerce Lifetime Achievement Award. Although we lost Dr. Dawson in 2022, her light continues to shine. She was a leader, a mentor, and above all, a fierce advocate for children. She devoted her life to ensuring that every student had the opportunity to succeed, setting a high standard for all of us. She challenged us to do more, to do better, and to never stop fighting for the future of our children. Her legacy will be felt in classrooms, hallways, and school board meetings for generations to come. On a personal note, Dr. Dawson. I remember when I first got into the district, and one of the first comments that was made to me is, "You're going to be in trouble with Dr. Dawson." And everybody in this room knows what that means, right? But I have to tell you, the very first conversation that I had with her, and she said, "You're a musician?" And I said, "I am." And she said, "We're going to be all right." And we were more than all right. I tell you, I didn't know Dr. Dawson as long as many people in this room did, but the 4 years that I had with her were incredible. She believed in every child in this school district. And she believed in every person that taught and served children in this district. That sense of how she felt so strongly about her community, I don't think I've ever experienced that anywhere. Please join me in recognizing the late Dr. Thelma Dawson as our next 2025 Darlington County School District Hall of Fame recipient. Joining us tonight to accept Dr. Dawson's award is her husband, Dr. Don Dawson.
Doesn't make any difference now. Not really, but I don't want to prepare to say anything. Obviously, I can't talk about issues that she was involved with. She never discussed them with me because she said I never had anything to contribute. And so she didn't waste time with trivia. I think about a story that she told me when I first met her. And, well, I first met her in Augusta, Georgia. And I was in the S&S cafeteria. And she had entered a special program for older students who were changing careers. They had an experimental program at Medical College of Georgia, and if you were in some other area and you thought about you could cut it in dental school, they had it was I don't remember the length of the program, but she was in the program, and the students used to eat at S&S cafeteria. It was kind of like the Morrison cafeteria that used to be here. Really good food and at a reasonable price. And she and some of her other fellow students used to frequent the place for lunch. And so I was there, and I was living in Atlanta at the time, but I was there on assignment from work. So I was in Augusta. And she tells me this all the time, that she saw me eating black-eyed peas with a spoon. And she looked like, and I thought about it, where was she? Well, she was in line across the room. So, I'm wondering how you see somebody eating black-eyed peas, in a cafeteria. But anyway, she said, and I was eating the black-eyed peas with a spoon. She quizzed me, and she always jacked me up anywhere in the public. I got a nickname that I used to call her because she always was on my case. And I said, well, I thought about it for a long time, and I said, I got an answer for that. And she was jacking me up in front of some friends one time, and I said, well, the reason I was doing that, number one, you can pick up peas real easy with a spoon compared to a fork. That's the first thing. But the most important thing is that all the nutrients are in the pot liquor. You know, you ever thought about that? I mean, that's how some people in hard times got over cornbread and you know, pot liquor, and they were getting all the nutrients. So that, you know, that was that. But anyway, that led to a meeting on the tennis court. She was petite then, and she was playing tennis, and her hair was kind of reddish brown. And a younger student told me about her, and I think he was an early admission student, and he was trying to get a date with her, and I think he had transferred from University of Georgia, and he was only 19. And if I recall our ages at that time, she was coming from Washington, D.C., where she had been a public school music teacher, and she had worked in Washington in the school system there for 6 years, and she had been the, I think she said that she had been the city youth conductor. She had conducted the youth orchestra for the public student kids in D.C. And her coming back home was triggered by the fact that in the Washington Post, she said that she had read one day that she no longer had a job. They had dissolved all co-educational programs at that time in D.C., and she and a girlfriend read it in the Washington Post. They didn't get told by a superintendent or anyone else. And so she said, well, you know what I'm going to do? I got some science background. What I'm going to do is I'm going home and I'm going to transition to a profession where I call the shots. And so she came home. Well, jumping back to my point in the conversation, coming forward rather. I met her on a tennis court, and we were talking, and I told her, I said, to this young guy that was trying to date her, I said, look, she's too old for you, okay? I said, she's more my style, okay? So he said, I'm going to ask what her age is. So he asked her, and if I'm correct now, at that time, I think I was 35 and she was 31. And he came back to me, and he said, and he expressed, he said, "Whoa, man!" She said she's 31. See, he was 19. He got on an early admission program from the University of Georgia, and so I said, "Yeah, I told you she was too old for you." Okay, so I said, "Well, I'll take over from here." We started dating, and I told her that I had been in Atlanta for, I think, what's coming 13 years, and I was going back to my original project to try to go to dental school. And I told the people, I had worked I was at Emory University for 6 years and worked with a research group in medicinal chemistry. Now, I'm going to be short about it. It's not about me, it's about Thelma. But I'm just pointing that out to say what our ages were. And so I had decided, and I had taught in public school 4 years before I came to Georgia. And my original home was Arkansas. And so when I met her, I said, well, I'm trying to go back to dental school. I said, I'm trying to wind up. And she said, well, I was in Washington, D.C., and I'm in this early admission program here at the Medical College of Georgia. I said, well, I'm making applications over the country to try to see what I can do. My people at Emory told me that, well, if you're going back, you better get stepping, because you getting old, you may not can cut it. And so I started working on it, and she said, well, you know, go ahead, go for it. Well, in '75, she brought me home to see her parents, and I didn't know she was thinking about getting married. I had been married before, and I had been married 12 years, and I said, well, you know, I wasn't thinking about getting married again, and I didn't know what was going on. But we got married in '75, and she went back to Washington, and we went to Washington because her friends thought she would never get married, and they really wanted to see was she actually married to someone. So they had a party for us, her friends and colleagues in Washington, just to check me out, you know, just to see, you know, am I a guy or what, you know. So, you know, it turns out that, you know, she proved her point, she was married. Now, we got back and we got going. I went on back. How was it? I got accepted in '77, and I went to New Jersey to school. But we had an apartment. We maintained our apartment on the Medical College of Georgia's campus. They had a merit student house, and so what happened, I went on to New Jersey. She finished up in '78. It took her only 3 years to get out of dental school. She's always been a gunner. And that was the last year that Georgia had a 3-year program because they found out it was too hard to do in 3 years. I went to New Jersey and I caught the tail end. When I got there in '77, the class in '76 was the last year that they tried a 3-year program. In '82, I got out of Jersey in '81. In '82, she started practicing here in Florence with George Williams Sr. At the same time, she joined the school board for the first time. The reason I had to stop, because this was a long time ago, for me anyway. And so she said, when I got back, she said, well, I'm a member of the Darlington County School Board, and I see some issues that I want to tackle. And she says, my years in public education is really what I love doing. And this dentistry, I hope, will make me independent, that I can go do for the employees, for the parents, for everybody in my hometown. I can improve the situation. And she says, one thing about it, you can be sure, I'm not going back to Arkansas with you, and you can stay here. I'm going back home. I'm going back to my room that I had, and you can take it or leave it. And I had no bargaining chips because when I got out of dental school, I owed $60,000. And no bank, even the banks here, we had trouble over the years getting money to open a practice. But she had already practiced with Dr. George Williams Sr. when I got back here. And the plan was the three of us were going to practice together, but he decided he didn't want to do that. So she had taken the space of his son. His son, he had a George Williams Jr. who had, they had separated, and she took his space. And so she worked there from '82, a couple of years. And Tony Hemingway, some of y'all may remember him, he's a Peter Donald here. She and Tony were good friends. Thelma can make friends just like that. And so she and Tony got to be good friends, and Tony, Dr. Williams asked her to get out of his practice. You know, but that's common in dentistry. And where partners start off and then it doesn't get rosy for one reason or other. Well, anyway, you should be able to hear me without a mic. Can you hear me? Yes, sir. Okay. Because I talk loud for a lot of reasons. Tony Hemingway told her, you can come use my office on the days that I don't use it. And so she went downtown in Darlington and practiced in his office, a couple days a week. And then when I got back, she had converted her daddy's old music store on Main. She got the dental company. There was a great salesman at Thompson Dental Company that said, we can retrofit this close the building and make a dental office. So he did that. And Mr. Benny Brown and his brother Boot Brown, who were contractors here in town, did it just like that. And Mr. Brown had a lot of wood around his place, and he didn't charge her one dime. He loved Thelma to death. And he had a nickname for her. I can't remember right now. It might have been TP, but I think it was something else. I don't remember. But anyway, I'm going to sit down in a few minutes. She got going, and she got on these projects around here, one project behind another. And I'm not going to go into all of that because that's way too long. But I remember when she got started, and I thought about it, and I said, I can only do dentistry. I don't know how you can have a second career in public education. But she could do a lot of things. Like she was a clarinet major in college. That's a tough major in music. And she could play all the instruments. She could ride anything probably on 2 wheels or 4 wheels. When she decided to go to dental school, she first went down to Savannah and worked in the VA hospital. And then she went to Savannah State and got her courses, got her required science courses beefed up so she could enter dental school. But the one thing I want to say about that is that she took me to Savannah one weekend. She said, I'm going to take you riding on a motorcycle. This is what I mean about riding everything. And I'm thinking it's a little scooter or something we're going to get on. And she was friends with a man that owned the service station. He had two things I remember. He had this big Great Dane that sat in the service station, and he had this motorcycle. And when he rolled it out, here's this big BMW. I mean, big one. Okay. So she took it, me riding on it, That was it. Okay. I got some more, but I won't tell all that. I was going to talk some more about her and education.
Thank you, Dr. Don, but
Yeah.
but we have another inductee.
Oh, yeah, I
The
forgot.
honoree
Yeah.
we have
I thought I
tonight,
was the
too,
last
so-
one. Okay.
No,
Okay.
thank you, Dr. Don.
Now, I just want you to picture this. Dr. Don and Dr. Thelma in the same room having a conversation about something that they don't agree on. I witnessed it many a times. It took me a couple days to recover from it every time. Thank you, Dr. Don. We appreciate you. Our last honoree is Dr. Willie E. Boyd, Sr. For over 50 years, Dr. Willie E. Bill Boyd, Sr. dedicated his life to education, leadership, and service, leaving an enduring legacy that will continue to inspire generations to come. Dr. Boyd's journey in the Darlington County School District began in 1968 at Mayo High School, where he started as a social studies teacher and student council advisor. Over the decades, he rose through the ranks, serving as assistant principal, transportation director, assistant superintendent, associate superintendent, and ultimately interim superintendent. Dr. Boyd played an instrumental role in shaping district policies, skillfully guiding the district through challenging times and complex issues, including civil rights issues, desegregation, construction of new schools, telehealth, teacher pay, dual credit partnerships, and safety and security issues. Throughout his tenure, Dr. Boyd was a steadfast presence in our schools, attending award ceremonies, board meetings, sporting events, classrooms, and professional development sessions. His ability to lead with quiet strength, wise counsel, and encouraging words made him not just an administrator, but a mentor and a role model for many. Dr. Boyd's dedication to service extended into multiple sectors. He served our country as a combat infantryman in the Vietnam War, earning several military honors, including the Combat Infantryman's Badge and the Army Commendation Medal. As a community leader, he served on the Florence Darlington Technical College Board of Trustees for 24 years, the McLeod Health Corporate Board of Trustees, the Darlington Free Medical Clinic Board, and the Bank of America Board. His commitment to civic engagement also included his service on the Darlington Red Cross Board and the South Carolina High School League. Dr. Boyd's contributions have been widely recognized. Among his awards, he was named South Carolina Transportation Director of the Year, as well as Citizen of the Year by the Greater Darlington Chamber of Commerce and Omega Psi Phi fraternity. He is a recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award from both the South Carolina Association of School Administrators and the Rosenwald High School Alumni Foundation. Dr. Boyd was recognized with a South Carolina House of Representatives resolution for 50 years of service, and the city of Darlington honored him with a key to the city and Dr. Willie E. Boyd Senior Day. Dr. Boyd's guiding principle, "If I can help someone, my living will not be in vain," perfectly encapsulates his life's work. His faith, honesty, and integrity have made him a respected leader, a bridge builder, and a champion for education. Whether in the classroom, the superintendent's office, or the broader community, his selfless dedication to others has been a beacon of hope and progress. Dr. Boyd's influence remains deeply woven into the fabric of our schools and community, setting a high standard for leadership, service, and excellence. On a personal note, Dr. Boyd was one of the first people that I met when I got to the district, and you could just sense in his soul that he was all about the best in everybody. His calm demeanor, the pearls of wisdom that he has shared with so many people in this room were evident so much from the start. Again, one of those people that I'm thankful for when I got to this district that helped mentor me as well. It was very obvious that Dr. Boyd meant an incredible amount to this school district and still continues to do that today. Please join me in honoring our last 2025 Darlington County School District Hall of Fame recipient, Dr. Willie E. Boyd, Sr.
Good evening to all of you who have come and you thought it was not robbery. Mr. Lewis, please share my thanks to that beautiful choir that sang tonight. Someone asked me, what do you miss about not working? I miss hearing the students perform at whatever level. Dr. Newman, thank you so very much for your leadership. Thank you for having us here tonight. I want to start by saying thanks to God for giving me this assignment. This was not a job. It was an assignment. It was an assignment because I love children. If it were not an assignment, Dr. McCutcheon, my salary for a year when I first started was less than $5,000. I extend my gratitude to Superintendent Newsom, Chairperson Mrs. Hassler, other board members, these fine educators, you principals, you know how much I love you. Continue doing what you are doing. And to all of the leadership in the school district and in the community, we appreciate you. And to my fellow inductees, those last year and those of you this year, I'm proud to stand beside you or behind you. Dr. Burry, what you said is mutual. Thank you. I want to take this time to recognize my beautiful wife, one who in 1962, behind this petition, was named Miss Mayo High School. She has stood by me for almost 57 years. As an educator herself, we worked diligently together to fulfill the task. Thank you, Patricia Elaine White Boyd. I also want to recognize my family who is here with us tonight, well, at least a part of our family. I have my son, Dr. Andre Boyd, and his wife, Candy. I have my son, youngest son, Dr. Carlton Boyd. And, of course, I have my youngest brother, Colonel Larry Boyd, and his wife. If this is being streamed live, my other children hopefully are watching. And I give my thanks to them for their support. After I served in Vietnam and came back in 1968, I was first given a job in one of the buildings just a short distance from here on this campus. That is where the journey started. It was not about the walls in the classroom that I served. It was about the opportunity that was given me to work with the lovely children in Darlington County School District. I want to thank my wonderful administrative assistant for 18 years, Ms. Donna Seegers, the lovely lady in blue at table number 2. Thank you, Mrs. Seegers. I also want to recognize Mr. I.A. Green, who was principal here. Mr. I.A. Green gave me my first start here in 1973 as an administrator. And from there, serving 45 years in administration. Mr. Green lives today He's 103. He's unable to be here tonight, but we certainly send our love to Dr. I.A. Green. I want to thank Mr. Jimmy Newsom, Mr. Warren Jefferson, our former chair, your friend, our friend, for bringing me into district level administration. And it didn't stop there. I want to thank Dr. Rainey Knight, who I served under her as her assistant superintendent. And when Dr. Knight left and went on to greener pastures, if you will, Dr. Knight still came back and helped me. So Dr. Knight, I want to publicly thank you for what you did. I must say to all of you, whether you be students, teachers, community people, it's not about what I have done. It's about what God has allowed me to do. And if any success has come from this journey, it is because of many of you in this room and in the community. And I want to say thanks to you for helping me through this journey. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Boyd. We were going to change the name on it for next year, so. Well, that concludes our evening tonight, celebrating our second annual Hall of Fame honorees. After hearing all three speak tonight, and after hearing last year's inductees, I think we've gotten it right the past couple years. What a wealth of experience, what a wealth of memories. For anybody that's new to this district to see and listen to this, what an incredible story. But more importantly, to all these people who have been part of the journey. What an incredible journey for all three of our honorees tonight. Thank you, friends and family, for being here to help us celebrate. As I always say, thank you for sharing them with us in the journey all these years. And I want to make sure that we have to get one picture before we give the last huge round of applause. So we're going to wait for that huge round of applause here. But if I could have the inductees come back up, we're going to get a picture together, and then we're going to let everybody let us know how much they appreciate tonight. So if you would come up to the podium. us. Congratulations to them. All right, so y'all be blessed. Have a safe trip back home and have a great rest of your week.